Welcome to part 3 of our 4-part series. Come on. It's a little jumpy. The Gathering Inner Circle. Tonight's program format, as we have done in the past, what we're going to do tonight is presentation. We will have the chat room open throughout the entire program. So any questions or concerns anyone has, go ahead and post those up there, and we will do our best to address any and all of those. And at the same time, by the way, for those who will be watching this later on, who aren't here with us tonight, but will be watching later on, these the last Monday night, last night, and tonight's, as well as tomorrow's presentations are being recorded. They will be available. Monday and Tuesday are already available. They are on the newsletter that I sent out to those who are joining us tonight. Okay. And they will also be posted on my webpage for the Inner Circle. And those will be available through the weekend and into next week, actually, so that anyone joining in later or who missed something or wants to go back and review, get a little more information, absolutely welcome to do that at any time. Okay, so we will be, by the way, we will be having a couple of exercises tonight that I think everyone's going to enjoy. Got a lot of fun and informative as well. Okay, so again, the whole purpose of the Inner Circle to break through your fears and superstitions so you can identify and develop your own innate intuitive abilities. As I've said many times, we all have them. We have all of them, latent, innate within us. They're there. They're just not outwardly exposed or manifested. We don't use them all the time. Again, like lifting heavy weights, if you don't do it all the time, becomes more difficult, more and more difficult. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to start exercising our mind, exercising our spirit, exercising our spiritual self to open up those abilities, the ones we desire, the ones we want to use, and take it to as far as we possibly can. Okay? So, don't you wish you knew more about what you're experiencing? Here again, the Inner Circle provides a forum where we can join together. There will be a Facebook private group where members can communicate back and forth anytime they want to, share information, share techniques, ask questions, and get not just from me every time, but from everybody who has had experiences, who will come in and join us and share what they know as well. Okay. Wendy M. recently wrote to me and she said, I felt the need to write to fully express how your content impacted me. I'm still not sure I have the words, but it hit a chord so deep in me, I'm still processing the gift you offer people. Thank you, Wendy. We all have the gifts. We just have to learn to open our eyes to see them and to start to use them. Okay. More and more people are beginning to become aware of their intuitive abilities, the abilities they didn't realize they had. Pass it off as coincidences or lucky guesses. What if you could control these abilities and use them whenever you want? You are in control. And again, anytime you use any of your abilities, start off with your intentions. What's the purpose for using them? Again, always for the greatest good of everyone gathered today. everyone on this side, on the other side, and everywhere in between. We offer up the greatest good always. Okay. Get centered and grounded. Very, very important. A grounding meditation, a prayer. I offer several different meditations in my books and seminars, and they'll be also available to members of the Inner Circle to get ourselves grounded back with the energy of the earth, centered, focused on ourselves. Ask for guidance, ask for guarding, ask for our guides to come in and make us clear vessels, clear channels and conduits for the information that we want to bring through. If you're using any type of divination tools, and there are many, many of those, okay? Could be crystals, could be bones, sticks, tea leaves, watching smoke rise, any number of different things. Make sure you practice what John Edward refers to as psychic self-defense. Clean your divination tools. Keep them pure, keep them holy, keep them clean, clear. Whether you use sage or Epsom salts for cleansing, selenite crystal is very, very good for cleansing. Another great way to cleanse your tools, if you're using cards or crystals or balls or whatever it may be, is to set them out under a full moon. It's cleansing, it's recharging, it's energizing, and that full moon energy just soaks into your tools and makes them more and more powerful. Keep them clean and clear for you. By the way, if you're using sage, there are many different techniques for saging. Whole house saging, room saging. I do caution it does involve fire and smoke. So make sure you do have ventilation. Make sure you are using them properly. It really would not be a great thing to burn the house down while you're trying to cleanse it. So do take some care with the cleansing techniques. Acknowledge your guides. I've mentioned this many times too. You all have guides. We all have. They've been with us since before we came into this three-dimensional plane. They'll be with us when we leave. They're the ones who teach us, who focus us, who guide us into our abilities and our strengths. It doesn't matter if you don't know who they are, if you don't have a name for them. I've said before, I refer to my guides as the Marie, because when they first presented to me, they presented as a single entity, a single female entity that I named Marie. And that works for me as a physical three-dimensional being to identify, to say, okay, when I think of Marie, when I think of the image that I saw, that figure, that entity, now I'm connected with my guides. Years later, I came to find out that it's not Marie, it's the Marie, which is a collective of 15 individual entities, angels, guides, whatever you want to call them, working together in joint purpose, each with their own abilities, each with their own strengths and understandings, and bringing all of that together for my benefit and, as I share it, for the benefit of everyone I encounter. So as far as a name for them, however you visualize them, however they appear in your mind's eye, in your in your uh, sensory contact of them. Call them whatever you will. They don't care. It's the acknowledgement, it's the recognition that matters, not the specific name. So, we're so hung up as humans on naming things. Okay, we've got to name everything. So, don't worry about that. They are energies, and their energies we recognize and we can call by whatever means we wish. Okay, it may be a physical sensation. You may just get a tingling, a chill, a warm flash, and oh, wait a minute, I know what that is. That's my guide. Yeah. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for your help. Okay. And always know that they are there to help you. Never get angry or argumentative. Never second guess or try to you can ask. Okay, if there's something that comes through that you don't understand, ask it either in your mind or out loud. Say, that I see this thing and it just doesn't, what does that mean? Who is it for? And ask for clarity. Okay. And they'll bring that to you. Set your boundaries. Know that you are in control all the time. I talk about envisioning yourself in a sphere of energy, of the energy of the guides. And many other sources also refer to a bubble of light or a sphere of light that you surround yourself with to protect yourself. Okay. Imagine a door right in front of you, straight in front of you in that sphere. And then take that door and move it over to your right, just a little bit. That act signifies not only to everyone else, but also to yourself that you are in charge. You have control. You can open that door when you want to. You can slam it shut and lock it. It's up to you. Okay, you have total control. Nothing comes in or out of your sphere without your permission. And we're going to talk more about that tonight. We're going to actually have a little exercise we're going to do to practice and learn how to set those boundaries. Okay. Ask your guides to stay on track and help you focus. This is especially important if you're working with groups of people. When I do large group readings, families or communities or large gatherings, a lot of times members, past members of loved ones will come through, but they're not really directly with the person in the group that they are represented by. And how do I, as the medium, know who's here for which person? Ask your guides. Ask them to help keep focus. Kind of be the ushers, if you will, and keep those who are trying to come through close to right in the same area as the person that they are trying to contact. Okay, so let them help you out with that. Also, you'll find the more you become sensitive, the more you become open to your sensitivity, there will be those who come through on a fairly regular basis. My mother, my wife's mother, they come through all the time. We see them, we hear them, we get messages and symbols from them. Well, also, when I go into sessions with clients, it's not unusual for one of them to pop up and say, they just want to say hi. They just want to, oh, you're open. Is now a good time? No, Mom, right now is not a great time. Let me get with you later on. Right now, I need to focus on my client and their needs. And that is absolutely right and proper to do. You're not pushing them away. You're not saying, don't talk to me. You're just asking for some space. And that is absolutely proper and appropriate. Again, remember, you are in charge. You are the adult in the room. You're the one who says what's going and decides what is happening, what isn't happening. Okay. And don't worry, as I said, don't worry about, whether or not they're going to be offended by telling them to wait and hold on and back off. Okay. Remember, it's always okay to say no. The only person who has total and complete control over you is you. If you don't allow it, say it. Say, no, not now. I can't deal with this now. Keep in mind that when you tell somebody, when I tell my mom, not now, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Time on the other side is not linear like it is here, past, present, future. Time on the other side is fluid. And entities on the other side, I like to call it traveling in the speed of now. Okay. And this is one of the exercises we're going to do tonight. And what I'm going to ask everyone to do who's with us tonight is, okay, I want you to just close your eyes for just a moment. Okay? And I want you to think about the most beautiful place you have ever visited on a vacation or family trip or whatever, the most incredibly beautiful place you've ever, stop, hold it, wait, open your eyes. How long did it take your mind to get to what you were thinking of? You were there, your mind was there before I had the opportunity to finish what I was going to say. That's the speed of now. I want to be here. I want to be here. I want to be here. And it's not a matter of distance. It's not a matter of time. It is now. Everything is now. So when I ask an entity to hold off, to back off, wait, what I'm doing is I'm saying, I'll deal with you at another now. It's still now. Okay. We talk about our pets, cats and dogs, living in the moment. Okay. It's a beautiful way to be. Really, it's like, cat gets it. Our cat has a great ability, no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, he can come over and get his tail underneath your heel without you ever knowing it, until you step down and you hear this blood-curdling scream, and he goes running across the room. Didn't hurt him a bit. And 3 seconds later, it's like, what? What did I do? I didn't do anything. Tail? What tail? Okay, that is living in the now. Okay. However, our guys, I think, are a bit more in tune and conscious and aware of what they're doing and how they're doing it than maybe our cats and dogs are. But it just gives you some idea now of what it's like to move that quickly and freely. Okay. So whenever you're doing any type of intuitive work, always remember to take time for you. Saw a posting recently about doing energy work with people, and be careful doing energy work or you'll deplete yourself. Well, one thing I've learned is as a medium, the messages, the information, the energy doesn't come from me. It comes through me. It comes from source. It comes from the guides. It comes from heaven, wherever you want to call it. It comes through me, not from me. So it doesn't deplete me. And if anything, as that energy flows through, a little of it trickles out and I get the benefit of it. And so after a long session with a client, very often I'm energized, I'm pumped, I'm excited because I've got more energy than I had when I started. So, don't be afraid of, working with others and doing your work that, oh, it's going to drain you out, you're going to be exhausted, you're going to be depleted. No, take the time for you. Do the centering, do the meditations, do the prayers, acknowledge your guides, get yourself in the right place, right frame of mind, and then you'll find that the work comes so much easier. It flows so much through you with such ease that um, it's always a great thing. And oops, other way. Okay. So what I want to do now is something that I do with all of my students and people who want to learn about how to manage their psychic abilities. They get constantly, they're getting flooded. They're getting, things are happening. They're hearing the voices. They're hearing they're feeling the sensations, and these entities are around them all the time. I love to refer to the movie Ghost Town with Ricky Gervais. They're everywhere. They're all around, and they're just constantly. How do you turn it off? That's the first thing I want to teach anybody in any program I give, is how to turn it off. Because once you know where that switch is, I call it the cosmic wall switch. And once you know where that switch is and you know how to turn it off, you can go back and you can turn it back on anytime you want to, under your own terms, in your control. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take about 10 minutes here, and my lovely partner is going to help me with this. Let me move over here and there, and let's go ahead and begin. This will be about 10 minutes long. Okay, there we go. Oops. Hello, I'm Psychic Medium Frank Scholler. Welcome to a short interactive video exercise that's helping many of my students and clients take back control of encounters that they may not be quite ready for. For this exercise, you'll need a notepad and a pen and a small envelope. You can pause or back up or repeat any portion of this video exercise at any time as you feel necessary. While I'm often asked what it's like to communicate with people who've died, I get a lot of questions from people who are spirit sensitive about how to turn it off. The voices of entities keep coming through whether they call on them or not. In my books and seminars, I address this problem and offer methods of taking back control of when and with whom we are open to interact. Basically, how you hang up a metaphysical out to lunch sign and then post your psychic office hours. I believe it's extremely important before we engage in any kind of paranormal or metaphysical encounters that we understand that we do have control over what happens. Have you ever fumbled around in the dark trying to find a wall switch? Okay, well, I'm here to show you where the cosmic light switch is. Once you know where it is and how to flip it, you'll be able to turn it off and on whenever you want to, but on your own terms. So follow along with me now as I offer 10 simple steps in taking control of your sensitive side. Welcome to quieting the persistent voices. Step 1, find a calm, safe place where you can sit quietly and undisturbed. Dim the lights to a soft level. If you can, set the temperature so that it's not too hot or too cold. Put on some soft, inspirational meditation music. Place your feet flat on the floor with your hands comfortably in your lap, and you'll close your eyes. Step 2, breathe slowly and deeply. Inhale through your nose and feel the air fill you all the way from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. As you exhale slowly through your mouth, feel your body relax. Release the physical tensions. Let your tongue relax and uncurl and drop away from the roof of your mouth. This really helps with total body relaxation. Now repeat this exercise 2 more times. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, letting your body relax. Once more. And relax. Step 3, set the intention. Say it out loud. My intention today is for the greatest good of all involved on all sides and dimensions through love, compassion, and healing. Step 4, envision your body as if you're floating in space. With your eyes still closed, see yourself bathed in a beautiful white light, like a cosmic spacesuit. Feel the warmth and security that the light provides. Now see that light expand to become a sphere that surrounds you. The sphere is made up of your own energy and the energy of your guides as they encircle and protect you. It doesn't matter if you don't know who your guides are yet, they know you. Their energy creates a sphere with you in the center. Now, try to visualize all of the entities who've been attempting to come to you. Identify them individually and by name if you can. If you don't know their name, simply assign one to them. They really don't care about specific names for now. It's all about acknowledgement. Step 6, open your eyes for a moment and take that notepad and pen and write down the names and other identifiers of those you recognize. Then take the paper and fold it and put it in the envelope. Okay? Seal it, and then on the outside, write the word later. The word later lets them know that they're not being dismissed, only postponed. Remember that our concept of time is linear. On the other side, it's fluid. To them, later is still now. And waiting, it's not a thing. Step 8, close your eyes once more and look to your guides who encircle you with their protective light. Look at your sphere of light. Envision a door in the sphere. Place it in front of you and slightly off to your right. By moving the door off center, you're showing yourself that you are in control of your sphere of energy. The door belongs to you, and you are the key. From now on, anyone who wants to come in must pass through the door with your permission. You can keep that door closed for as long as you want or need to. Step 9, thank your guides. Say it out loud. Let them know that you are truly grateful for their help and protection. Thank all the other entities for their concern for you and for the help, love, and healing that they may offer. And remind them of your concern for them and for the help, love, and healing that through continued study and practice, you may one day offer to them. And finally, step 2, take your envelope and put it in a safe place with the honest intention that you'll open it when the time is right for you. I know that all this sounds rather simplistic, and in fact, it really is. It's all about setting honest and meaningful intentions. After you've done this once or twice, it'll become easier and easier. The more you practice, the more you'll develop your ability to open up and close at will. And now for an important note. Just because you turn them off temporarily does not necessarily mean that you can now ignore them or that your ability to reconnect is permanently gone. You always retain the power to reconnect anytime you wish. The difference is that now you are in control of when and where and how that happens. In this exercise, we recognize that for some reason, someone wanted our help. We acknowledge that they're here. We gave them an identity. At the same time, we declare our intention to help when we are ready and able. That intention must be true. Simply saying the words is meaningless if you don't really believe it in your heart and spirit. As we identify and strengthen our abilities, we also raise the level of our responsibility. If your true intention is to completely shut them off and walk away, that's fine. It's your free choice to do so. Most people are terrified by the internet. Just be honest with yourself and them and say so. For those who want to stop now, simply replace the word later with I'm sorry. It's an act of compassionately closing the door. Maybe someday you may return, but you're not making any promises. By the way, if someone says, let's have a seance, it'll be fun, and you're not comfortable with it, leave. Make whatever excuses you need to, but leave. Don't let yourself be peer pressured into doing something you're not ready to do. Likewise, if you're planning on conducting a reading, lifting, healing, or any other type of spiritual energy practice, be sure to ask everyone who may be present if they have any reservations about what's about to transpire. Explain what's going on or what may possibly happen so that there's a general understanding among all the participants. If anyone has any reservations, fears, or objections, invite them to leave before you begin. If they choose to stay, assure them that they're free to leave at any time during the session without any judgment or animosity. After all, our compassion is not limited to the dead. For more information about encounters with spirit entities or other paranormal phenomena, please check out my website, www.frankschodel.com. Well, thank you for watching this short presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to share the link with everyone you know who's interested in the paranormal. And until next time, I'm Frank Schodel. Namaste. And we're done. Okay. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. That video, Quieting the Voices, will be available to members of the Inner Circle all the time. So anytime you want to go back and revisit that and kind of get back into the practice of it, feel free to do so. And I'll tell you, really, the more, as I said in the video, the more you do that, the more you practice it, the easier and quicker it gets. When Betsy and I were in Italy a couple of years ago, we had the opportunity to visit the city of Pompeii, which, if you're familiar with Roman history, in the year 79 AD, was devastated by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, and tens of thousands of people actually died within 15 minutes of the beginning of the eruption. It was very quick, very sudden. By the way, that was actually a small portion of the total population of the city of Pompeii. One thing that really impressed me was how big that city was. It's not a tiny little village. It is a huge city. But most of the people, most of the residents were able to escape. But still, there were, as I said, tens of thousands who were not able to, and died very quickly, very violently. Some of them didn't even know what was happening. They were asleep, or for whatever other reason, they were, instantaneously killed and are still there. Lots and lots and lots of earthbound spirits. Well, as an intuitive, a place like that with that many earthbound spirits can be overwhelming. And actually, it can just totally, tie you up in knots. Using that little exercise, I'm sorry, I'm not here right now for you. I will help everyone I can as I can, but right now, it's not your time with me. And close the door. Take that control. Own that control. It is so, so important to know when to turn it off so that you can, again, easily turn it back on. Note I got just recently from Melody T. I love what you've written, Frank. This was exactly the right approach. My new friend seems calm and respecting boundaries. I'm grateful to you. That was in response to this specifically, this very same video. Melody was having issues with an entity that was making itself known. Noises, physical things moving, all kinds of things happening around her. And she just was not in a place where she was wanting to deal with that. And also not in proximity to where I was at the time. So I couldn't come at that moment to her house to see if, whether to do a lifting or to, whatever to help this entity. She needed some breathing space. She needed room to say, look, not now. And so this short little exercise was exactly what she needed. It helped her get through that situation. Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight's presentation and gotten a little something out of it. I do want you to know, again, these meetings are being recorded, so they will be available. We will have one more presentation tomorrow night, and that's when I'm going to be speaking specifically about the gathering inner circle. How do you join? What's involved? Who's it for? Who's it not for? What can you expect out of it? What are the features? What are the benefits? And of course, what's the cost? So be sure to tune in tomorrow, and I'll be sending out the newsletter, the links in the newsletter, and be sure to join us tomorrow and find out more about it. Until then, I'm Frank Schoedel. Stay curious.